All right, guys, it's HOA trade apocalypse. What a day, what a night. Yeah, we're gonna mention the Super Bowl because that's coming up this weekend too. But today felt like a just wild day. Kenzie, what is going on, man? What's going through your head? Big day for the NBA.
It's a big day for the NBA. Those teams you was nice with on 2K, you might not be nice with them anymore because the roster is different. And on top of all of that, the Super Bowl is in like 3 days. That's lost in all of this.
I mean, it's just wild. It's wild because this is supposed to be the week of these guys, and then the NBA just comes in and takes over everything. Just like you said, Super Bowl's in 3 days, and we're talking about big time NBA stuff, big time NBA stuff. So right off the bat, let's get into it, man. Trade deadline. Let's start with the top. This is the biggest one. KD goes to the Suns.
Kevin Durant.
The one of, if not, top 3, top 5 player in the NBA, joins the Suns. Tell me your thoughts on that trade. Give me a grade right off the bat for that trade.
It gotta be an A because I think the Suns' window was closed. Like you could try to sugarcoat it all you want. Oh, they just made it like 2 years ago. No, that window was closed. So for them to get Kevin Durant without having to give up Chris Paul or DeAndre Ayton, that's honestly insane. Granted, they're going to miss Bridges because like he was the best defender, but when you're Kevin Durant's still a good defender, and when you're and he's like 10 times the offensive player, that's a easy A.
Oh yeah, I was thinking I did a little short on YouTube this morning about it. I'm thinking that opens their window for going forward 4 years. I could see them. I think they're the favorite now, and I think they could be the favorite going forward. If they won 2 titles in the next 4 to 5 years, I would not be surprised. They're that good. And if you think about it, if they could find a way to get Chris Paul out and maybe get a little younger at point guard with somebody quality also, that just even prolongs it even more. Like it gives them even more opportunity. So I'm going to give it an A also. I thought that was a home run trade. The Suns, man, they look really good, but their health is going to be important. I know Booker's back. I know.
And Chris Paul come playoff time, whatever happens.
But I wonder if now Kevin Durant being there, it doesn't matter. Is Kevin Durant good enough to maybe handle the lulls in Chris Paul's playoff performances? Yeah. I hope so. I mean, because that's going to be a really fun team to watch mold over the next 30 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, that's the top of the cream of the crop right there. Top trade. Let's go to the second most important trade. Kyrie to Dallas. What are your thoughts? What are your narratives? What are your agendas you're trying to push against this Dallas Mavericks team now?
My agendas, I cannot wait to watch them lose in the playoffs. Can't use the Luka don't have help narrative because he has the most skilled player in NBA history.
Here, let me stop. If they lose to the Suns in the Western Conference Finals, is that there's no way you could say that's a bad loss, though?
I mean,
there's no way.
I will. But you can't.
Right. Okay.
But all that aside, it was a great deal because one of the reasons I'm never hiring a Maverick is because the whole Luka style of my career play to where if I'm not shooting, I'm running a pick and roll and passing to his shooting. I just don't think it was going to work. So for them to add Kyrie to where Luka doesn't have to do it anymore, Kyrie can go get his own 25 without being assisted. So I think it was a really good deal. The defense, of course, is going to be an issue, but you could have serviceable defense if you have the most explosive backcourt in the league.
Yeah. So Luka, took these guys to the Western Conference Finals with Jalen Brunson. Kyrie's probably an upgrade. I mean, he's offensively, he's for sure an upgrade.
Yeah.
Do you think they can get to the Western Conference Finals again now? Unless they run into the Suns. I think the Suns would beat them. But I don't know.
Honestly, I think the Lakers can get him. I think the Lakers can. Bro, Kristen Wood on AD? I think the Lakers can get him. And I admit this is the bias pick. I think the Pelicans can get him.
What? Okay. Okay, then give me your Kyrie grade, and then I'll take it into the Lakers because we need it. Well, that'll be interesting.
The Kyrie for the trade, just because They shouldn't be win now more because Luka's like 24, but I'm gonna give it like a A-.
Okay, I gave it a B, a solid B, because I still have questions about them defending in the playoffs and defending a team like the Suns, like the Pelicans, like you just said. Mm-hmm. So that's why I gave it a B and not an A. I think they still have a lot of question marks when it comes to playoff defending. Okay, let's jump into it because you brought up the Lakers. So to me, that means you think the Lakers are a title contender now after the D'Lo and trade, and then they also added Mo Bamba.
Yeah. I think they should be second in the West, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if come playoff time, oh well, I forgot the Nuggets, top 3. Come playoff time, if it's a Suns-Lakers series, I'm going with the Lakers. I'm telling you that right now.
Really?
So I think the Lakers,
why?
Honestly.
Okay, here we'll just break it down real quick right now. D'Lo will start.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume they'll bring Beasley off the bench. I would assume they'll bring Vanderbilt off the bench. So D'Lo, Rory, Troy Brown, LeBron, AD. Is that going to be their 5 now?
No. All right. A lot of this is banking on AD. A lot of this is banking on AD being AD. I'm assuming he's going to be like his 26-13 stuff in the playoffs. And LeBron, still LeBron. D'Lo, he's very inconsistent. Like I can't lie. I'd be betting his under a lot, but I can't rule him out, man. LeBron still looks great. AD is top 10 when motivated. I can't rule them out.
Okay, so I mean that means D'Lo has to be really good.
I think if D'Lo just gives him like a calm like 17-7, I think that's good.
Okay, I mean that's a lot of pressure, man, on D'Angelo Russell.
Now, on the flip side, we know how this can go. If in like 3 weeks D'Lo is struggling, he's gonna be like the signal to blame. They'd be like, "Oh, D'Lo, why'd we do this? Should have kept Russ."
Well, he was last time, and he saw that work out. I don't think that brings the Lakers into the top 5 in the West. I really don't. I don't trust D'Lo. I think Malik Beasley's a good volume 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt's a great defender, but that not that much changed. It really didn't. Like, I'm sorry, but like Mo Bamba, great song, hella entertaining, but like not that much changed. Now, if you want to say addition by subtraction by getting rid of Russ,
mm-hmm.
I'm all for it. But D'Lo's got to show something, and he's got to show it over these next 30 games before I start saying they're the top 3 in the West. That's insane.
So you telling me if the 2-7 is Suns Lakers, you're going into that thinking Lakers got no chance?
Yeah. No, Suns in 5. Suns in 5 or 6.
If AD healthy and Braun is still Braun, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's the thing.
Because here's the thing, I don't trust Anthony Davis anymore.
You trust Ayton
to play defense against AD and I think he can do a solid job on AD. I don't think there's nobody on the team that can slow down Devin Booker. There's nobody on the team that can slow down Kevin Durant. Their offensive firepower alone is just better. It's just better.
They'll be favored, but
5, 6 if Durant or 6 if AD has like a 45-point game.
Yes, I think the Lakers being slightly.
All right, give me your grade for the Lakers trade then.
Oh, they get like a B. Like a B plus.
See, that's what they're what, the 11th or 12th seed right now?
Yeah.
And all they did was make a B trade, and you have them in the top 3 in the West? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
It's a lot of faith in LeBron. It's faith in AD playing like how he should be playing, and it's just
like I know Laker fans are excited, but that's pretty bold, man. That's bold for me. But I'm gonna give it a B also. I think it's an addition by subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see how this all meshes together. They got 4 new guys coming in.
Yeah,
and then possibly some buyout, depending on how the buyout market goes. I think you're crazy, but I do think they got better. But I don't think they're top 3 in the West better. That's crazy. Sorry, next trade. Let's see. Let's talk about the Clippers trades. Clippers went out and got Bones Highland and Eric Gordon. They got rid of John Wall for obvious reasons.
What do you mean by that?
And they got rid of Reggie Jackson for Reggie Jackson. I thought did a decent job for the Clippers.
Now what confused me with that is the Clippers said like the main reason like the Wall reports came out is because they said like they wanted more front court depth. They didn't get that by getting rid of Wall and Reggie Jackson.
So I was a little confused also. Unless they're going to play Paul George at the 4 more, I don't know. I don't know. That's what Kawhi. But I think Bones Highland's a good player. It's clear that he wanted a bigger role and he was having trouble in Denver with obviously Jamal Murray. It's been documented. He's going to have a little more freedom in LA. Ty Lue's a good coach for him to work with because of the experience. Eric Gordon, everybody knows Eric Gordon's a solid player. He's a 3-point threat. He's a solid defender. Can I say something? That 3-point foul last night against him on De'Aaron Fox was absurd. That was a terrible foul call. I just want to reach out. I just want to touch on that because that was one of the worst foul calls to close a game I've seen in a while. So I'm going to give their trade like a B- because it doesn't seem like they really went they didn't really go in a different direction per se. And I thought Reggie was a decent player for them. And I do like the addition of Eric Gordon, but we need to see Bones Highland in a starting role and more of a leadership in terms of playing point guard role. But obviously Kawhi and PG keep you at a majority of games. And Zubac's a lot better than anybody ever talks about.
Yeah, very underrated.
So yeah, I'll give it like a B-. What do you think?
Yeah, around the same. I think it didn't really move the needle. Maybe they got like marginally better, but yeah, it's nothing crazy. So around the same grade.
Couple more little quick trades. We'll just rapid fire. I like Luke Kennard to Memphis. I think Desmond Bane's a solid shooter. Dylan Brooks is inconsistent as can be. Luke Kennard is a knockdown 3-point shooter. I'm surprised that the Clippers.
Because he was like their marksman. That also surprised me.
Yeah, so I was a little confused. I didn't love that the Clippers got rid of him, but I do think that helps Memphis a little bit going forward. Because with Ja, you're going to get open shots, and it's going to help the Ja get easier drives to the basket with a knockdown shooter who shoots almost 45% from 3. Let's see. Let's touch on a big one. Real big trade. A lot of people have been talking about this one. Could change the future of this franchise. Josh Hart to the Knicks. Tell me about Josh Hart joining you guys.
Honestly, I don't understand it because they already had a log jam at guard. It got to the point where like Rose wasn't playing. Now I guess Hart brings like more because like rebounding and defense and hustle, but I don't totally understand it. They were in a running for Levine apparently. That would have been great.
Levine, why not go all in on that?
Yeah, I don't understand
why they didn't complete that trade because that changes your fortune.
Tibbs rotations is just weird because I understand not wanting to give up Obi, but you don't play him,
which is very weird. Why would you not just send him to Chicago and go?
With the Nets basically falling out of contention, if you were to have Brunson, Levine, RJ, even though he's inconsistent, and Randall and Mitchell Robinson, when he gets back, that's a squad for the East.
I mean, if you guys make that Levine trade, I would say you jump into that 5th seed where the Nets are now, at least. I don't think you're better than Cleveland yet, but I think you're right there. Let's see. Oh, Ja Crowder to the Bucks. What did you think about that? 5 second-round picks. Is that the new thing? 5 seconds gets you a couple players?
I think that helps them. He's one of those like Trevor Arizas and PJ Tuckers to where they just 3-and-D players get tossed around at the deadline all the time. So I think he's going to help them. But I already had them. Did I have them coming out the East? I think so. I definitely have in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't think like adding Jay Crowder is the reason they will or won't now. But it was a good move. Yeah,
I like the move because he's tough. He can hit a big, he's hit big shots in the past. He's been in the situations they're going to need him to be in. I would I don't know. I feel like Cleveland could have come up with the picks to make that happen. I don't know if he really changes the fortunes of Cleveland, but it's confusing that Cleveland just stood pat and didn't get in anybody. I think if anything that that does not help open the window any more than it already is open. I mean, if anything, Cleveland's lucky that the West got so much better. Like the Eastern Conference got easier a little bit by getting those guys out to West, but Cavs didn't go out and make themselves any better, and I'm very confused by that.
That's how I felt with the Wizards. Like, even though every deadline for like the past 6 years, we trade for like some random 77 overall. At least we do something. Like, we're just, oh man.
All right. We've hammered the trade deadline. It was a hell of a trade deadline. Some massive names got moved. Some teams got really a lot better. Supposedly the Lakers are one of the best 3 teams in the West now. People are losing their minds. So Kinsey, you posted Kinsey's Corner earlier about Steph. Tell us about what you were hitting on with Steph, and now that the West is so stacked, does this give Steph an ultimate opportunity for a very heavy resume victory if he gets to the championship?
Yes. When I first proposed it like in the group chat, I was surprised that like a lot of y'all had like him top 10 already, because some people, of course, you got the Bron, Magic, Kareems, and then people will still have like a Kobe, Duncan, Bird, Magic, Shaq, Hakeem, and like Russell. So like some people have Curry more so in like the 11 to 13, 14 range. So like when I saw like people saying, oh, he's already like top 7, that caught me off guard. But what I was basically trying to hit home with Kinsey's Corner was the West is very, very stacked this year, especially like with these additions. So if Curry were to come out the West with his team like struggling, like if they would have like a huge turnaround, he's already the best shooter ever. He's already the second point guard ever. If he were to get this puts him at 5 rings.
Yeah, that's crazy.
5 rings. So if they were to come out the West and he were to win it, and of course he's going to get the Finals MVP, Jordan Poole, people thought like he could. Oh, is he like Steph light? No, relax.
No.
Clay's rounding back into form, but Clay's still not the number 1 on the team, obviously.
Right.
So I think winning a ring in this bloodbath of a West, I don't know how you don't say he's top 5.
I think I'm going to take it one step further. I think this ring would cement him being the best point guard of all time also.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that would put him over Magic too. So really, if he can get healthy and if the Warriors can make a run, like you're saying, this could be one of the ones that are like, hey, this one puts me top 5 all time, and I'm coming further. I could go further.
Right.
Somebody said online that the Finals MVP thing. I'm like, well, dude, come on. The Finals MVP, he got robbed by Iguodala. He should have 2. Everybody knows it. He's got the individual accolades. The guy's been insane. I thought you did a great job on Kinsey's Corner. I just wanted to touch on that because obviously Steph Curry's got a uphill battle this Western Conference. Next. You wanted to talk about do you think teams are mortgaging too much of their future to win now and get these big time players?
Now granted, I fully understand. All right, I think we could win now. Let's go for it. But I think sometimes teams go a bit too far. Like the Thunder and the Clippers. Some of those deals were absurd, like trading like 3-4 first at a time. If it doesn't work out and like those stars leave or like injury, you're going to be bad for a very, very long time.
Right.
Like we saw what happened like with the Nets post Deron Williams, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. It was years of some terrible, nasty basketball. But you want to go all in, I understand, but I think I don't know. Homegrown talent doesn't always work, but it's dangerous mortgaging your future.
Yeah. And that's I'm wondering, like, personally, when OKC is going to cash in all these chips, who are you waiting for to be available to go in and win? You're telling me like SGA wouldn't have been excited to have Kevin Durant back?
Exactly.
Like you couldn't have sent three or four first and got Kevin Durant back, and then you have SGA, you have Giddey, you have Durant, and then you still have 10 picks left.
Yeah, the stockpiling of picks. Obviously, like I don't think they could not allow it, but I think it should only be like 3 or 4 because at a certain point, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you on that because if a guy like Kevin Durant comes available and you're not in on him, like what are you like? What is like? You're just going to draft guys. Like your roster is just going to keep building up, and you're just going to keep building up guys that may not be superstars. So
like
when a superstar comes available, why did you not at least make an attempt to get Kevin Durant?
Yeah, like I was surprised this year that now I'm actually like proud of the Thunder that like they're trying to win basketball games, because I thought they were just gonna go on the tank fest for Victor, but they recognize, okay, we have Shea, he's like a top let's just say top 20 player in the league. Let's try to like teach him how to win basketball games. So like that's something I appreciate.
I mean, yeah, I mean they've got a decent little core. Obviously Chet's hurt, so it's a little bit different. But I mean, you're just hoping to win the lottery every year. Like that's your goal. At like some point you got to stop.
Right.
Like Detroit's going to be in a similar situation. Like they're just bad. And obviously Kate Cunningham's a solid player. They got rid of Sadiq Bey. They added James Wiseman. You have 3 big men now. Well, I don't understand what you're going for. Wiseman, Stewart, and Duran. What's the plan? Like some of these teams don't seem like they have a plan. In my opinion. All right, that takes us off of that. Who is the favorite to win the title now, in your opinion, after a massive trade deadline?
Overall or each conference?
I think we'll do overall, and then we'll do West East.
Boy, who are you rocking with?
I legitimately believe that the Suns are now the favorite in the West. And I believe Boston's still the favorite in the East. And I think as of right now, I'm going to say the Suns are the favorite.
Yeah, I have Boston in the East. It's just that West, man. It's that West. You know what? We going out on a limb, man. The Lakers win in the West. Lakers, Pelicans, Western Conference Finals. Lakers, Pelicans,
Lindsay's Lakers versus Pelicans. Jeez, that is rough. Okay. Wow. You got Lakers coming out. Wow. That's bold. That's going to be, hopefully you can make that a short for YouTube because people will love that. All right. Yeah, I got Suns Boston right now. I got the Suns as the favorite. Absolutely massive trade deadline.
Zion's health, this is something to change. That's subject to change.
A little late now.
That's subject yeah, that's subject to change.
Okay. You're saying if the Pelicans are healthy, they can make the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I think I for sure think they're going to be there, and the other representative will be the Lakers or the Warriors.
You're a madman. All right. That takes us through a very big part of our show today, but we still have the Super Bowl to discuss.
Yeah.
Super Bowl is this weekend. Who you got? How's it shake out? Who is your Super Bowl pick? I think our avid listeners know who you're going to pick, but I would like to hear it on record.
The Kansas City Chiefs. And it won't be close.
All right. So here's what I'm going to offer you, my man. If Mahomes loses his second Super Bowl, which is highly likely, you are going to make your profile picture for a week. Tom Brady with his picture like this with the 7 rings. What are your thoughts? How confident are you in the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm very confident. You know, I was studying up on some all 22. I was grinding some numbers, and you know, the Eagles, great record, overrated team.
Do you want to know? You want to know an interesting stat?
Yeah.
All right. Let me pull it up real quick because I thought this was pretty wild. I took a picture of it. The Eagles and the Chiefs both have scored the same amount of points. Damn. They have the same record. They're both 16-3. They both scored like 568 points. Mm-hmm. They're both in the Super Bowl. Just crazy how that has worked out.
Yeah.
So you're going Kansas City.
Right.
I'm taking the Eagles. I think the Eagles are just a better team. I think the Kansas City has the better quarterback, obviously. Do you agree to my bet? Eagles win. You change your profile picture to Tom Brady for a week, holding his 7 championship rings. If you have something that you want me to do, if the Eagles lose, I'm totally in. Or are you in?
If Mahomes plays bad, I could agree to that. But if he plays like Magoat Boy and the team just can't stop the run, I will not honor Tom Brady for that.
So you have to have you preface it a bet. Like, so Mahomes has to play bad or else he won't do it.
Yeah, if Mahomes plays bad, then I don't think he's ever going to catch Tom. But if he plays great, but they still lose because the Eagles rush for like 160, then I think the goat's still in reach.
Okay. And that's something I wanted to touch on, actually. Let's see. Okay, so would winning this title make the Chiefs a dynasty, in your opinion?
I would think so. They've won a Super Bowl since he's been the starting quarterback. They've lost the AFC Championship game overtime. I understand like this will only be 2 in 5 or 6 years. What's it?
So here's the Mahomes stats for you. Mahomes is 64-16 in his 5 years of starting all the way. He averages 3 losses a year over 5 years. He is one-time Super Bowl champion. Obviously, he's 1-1 in the Super Bowl. This is the third Super Bowl. They've made the AFC title the last 5 years. So I think, in my opinion, this title would put them in the conversation of a dynasty.
Yeah, I think they're for sure a dynasty with a win.
Okay. Next, how important is this championship to Mahomes' legacy?
I think it's huge because I already think he's the best quarterback in the league, but a win here would like absolutely separates himself from the pack, like early 2010s, mid 2010s LeBron from the pack separation.
Okay.
So along with that, and the fact that I don't think he's going to need 7 for people to think he's catching Tom. I think if he gets 4 or 5, people will like really, really start to debate it.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta start doing it now. Andy Reid and Kelsey won't be around forever. So yeah, I think this is a huge game for his legacy.
So yeah, I mean, obviously Mahomes has got a lot of time still to build his resume. But if he could stack these championships early, it'll help later when he obviously ages and has even less around because of the money. Two Super Bowls in 5 years is going to be super impressive. It's hard to beat. Obviously, it's not Tom Brady, but that's also going to be very hard to reach 7. I liked what you said when you said if he got to 4 or 5, I think that conversation really takes off. Yeah, I mean, when he gets to 4, you're in rarefied air with Joe Montana and people like that. So I think this is very important for Mahomes. I think he's going to have a tough game, though. So let's talk how the Chiefs going to match up with the Eagles' O-line and D-line. Because right off the bat, Eagles have a slight advantage on the offensive line per Pro Football Focus. Eagles are ranked number 1 offensive line. Kansas City was ranked number 4, so there are no slouches on the offensive line. But the Eagles do have an advantage on the defensive line in terms of depth and overall talent, minus Chris Jones, who might be the best individual defensive player in that battle. So tell me a little bit, how do you think the Chiefs can overcome deficiencies on the lines to keep this game close?
We kind of saw it this past game that when Mahomes was a bit hampered, Andy Reid got back into his quick passing and like his screen game bag. So let's say like early on, Reddick and like the pass rush is like getting close to Mahomes. I think they're going to say, all right, Kelsey, let's have you chip out, catch a few tight end screens. Pacheco, McKinnon are like really good running backs when it comes to catching the ball. And they're going to like just do like a lot of short stuff.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously getting the ball out fast is going to help him a lot. But it's very possible we see a replay of the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl.
Nah, I don't think it's going to go like that. Nah, because that game.
If he gets sacked more than 4 times, I think it's going to be a long afternoon. I think it's going to be hard to overcome. If he's still hurt at all, I think it's going to be a long game for him. All right, let's jump into the skill positions. Eagles, obviously, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith versus Juju, MVS, and Tony. Can those guys do enough to try to match. I don't think they can. They're not better, obviously, but can they try to match with maybe the jet sweeps, the end arounds, the short screens? Can they supplement the offense enough to be in the conversation with those guys?
I would say yes, because Mahomes, he's just gonna make it work. Like the roster going into the Super Bowl, like from a receiving core standpoint, is going to be better than it was versus the Bengals. Like they were putting out like their fourth and fifth stringers because Tony got hurt in that game. McCole Harmon went out in that game. Juju went out. So like if he made it work with that, granted the Eagles defense is I would have it above the Bengals, although it is overrated.
Okay.
I would have, at least this passing defense, the secondary is overrated. Rushing passer, they can do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think he'll be just fine. I think he'll be able to make it work.
Okay, and then running back, do you give the Eagles the edge on running back too?
Yeah, I give them the edge on running back.
Sanders over Pacheco?
Yeah.
And then what, Gainwell, and I mean they got some solid guys, but Pacheco's no slouch. I mean, McKinnon and him make it work. They just don't run.
McKinnon's just like a low-key touchdown magnet.
Yeah. And then tight end, obviously, advantage Chiefs. Dallas Goedert, though, solid tight end, but he's not Travis Kelce. So, Sunday, massive game, massive legacy game for Mahomes. What do you think score? Do you got a score in mind?
I'm feeling like a clean, like 28-17 Chiefs way.
Wow. You think there's 17 points?
Their offense, if we really want to talk about it, their offense, it wasn't that good versus the Niners. Their first touchdown came off a play they shouldn't have been down there because Devontae Smith didn't fully catch the ball. Okay. Their second touchdown, they were going to punt. They had 3 drive extended penalties. They had a pick got overturned. Then on a third down, 49ers would have got off the field. They got a first down off of that. Then they had another first down. I forgot what the call was. So that's 3 drive extending penalties for their second touchdown. Their third touchdown, that was like the Josh Johnson strip. So they only had to go like 15 yards. So yes, they put up a lot of points on the Niners, but they only had like 3 good offensive possessions.
Okay, so if you're gonna say that they were helped out by all that stuff, why are you so confident in the Chiefs offense if it took all of that help to make the Chiefs offense go? I'm just wondering why it doesn't count for the Eagles, or it doesn't count for the Chiefs, but it helps the Eagles but doesn't help the Chiefs. Would you like to touch on that briefly, or do you want to?
Yes, the Chiefs offense. They didn't. What help did they get? What help did they get for the Bengals?
We're still on there. We're still just gonna ignore. We're just gonna ignore the way the game was officiated.
No. There was some assistance, but. Time out. Just got a touchdown taken off the board because of a holding. Man, listen.
So the officiating helped the Eagles offense, but the officiating did not help the Chiefs. Got it.
In fact, it harmed the Chiefs, to be honest.
Oh, it harmed the Chiefs.
Harmed the Chiefs, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I think just the way people, I forgot what the final score was. It was something like 38-7. I think people saw that and said the Eagles were clicking. No, they weren't. The Eagles offense was not clicking that game. But before Sunday, y'all gotta go watch those highlights. Look at those Eagles offensive possessions. And Jalen Hurts.
You do realize watching the highlights is such a jaded view of how something happened.
Well, I don't know where you can find the full game, but even Hurts, he only passed for 140 that game. He hasn't had a great passing game since the shoulder injury. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Okay, so you said 28-17. Let me make sure I write that down.
Yeah, you better hope they chew clock and that running game is on its A game, because if it boils down to Hurts, we need you to go bucket for bucket with Patrick, that game is over.
All right, I'm going to go Chiefs with the loss. I'm going Eagles are going to score. I'm 24-17 Eagles.
You're holding Mahomes below 17, below 20?
Yeah.
Patrick?
Yeah, same one.
Mahomes?
Do you want to know how many? Would you like to know how many points he scored in the Super Bowl?
Irrelevant.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to make sure you didn't want to know. I didn't know.
He had no offensive line.
Oh, okay.
And let's be real. He also ran for the most yards. Like he scrambled from under pressure, the most yards in NFL history. He was literally under siege. That's not going to happen on Sunday. And then
so you do like hear yourself when you make all these excuses for Mahomes, right? Like you do hear it.
Reasons for losses and excuses aren't the same.
Okay. All right, good to know. Kenzie, we've covered the trade deadline, we've covered the Super Bowl, we've got our picks, we've given our grades. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here today?
The Wizards, man. I'm trapped. I'm trapped.
Okay. This is for the audience. I just want the audience to hear this. This week, I gave Kenzie an out. I said, Kenzie, you could burn your Bradley Beal jersey and officially join the Knicks for all of eternity. I'll never say anything about it again. And this man did not want to take the out and burn his Bradley Beal jersey. He's stuck in Wizards prison still. I tried to help him. I tried to let him out, but he wouldn't do it.
I got pajamas. I got beanies. I got sweaters. I'm in too deep.
All highly flammable.
I'm in too deep, man. It's just
for the listeners. You guys don't understand. This man will randomly send a Knicks defensive chant, but he will not commit to the Knicks. I don't know what it is. It's hard to fathom.
I'm a Wizzy for life, man. I'm a Wizzy for life.
All right. Well, Kristaps Porzingis sold me this past week on some bets because you told me he was going to be. You compared him to Dirk, I believe it was.
Oh yes, that was something. Yo, not chat. This isn't Twitch. Listeners, Dirk wasn't a great rebounder, and he was 7'1". So why does KP get flack for not being a great rebounder when he's 7'3"? That's like a 2 height difference. So when KP averages 6 rebounds, he's underachieving. When Dirk's career average for rebounds is like 7, he's a top 5 power forward of all time. I personally don't understand it. I think it's just KP hate. But hey, man.
Okay, well, I'm not going to have a Dirk debate with you about Kristaps Porzingis. I just want the Wizards to be more relevant for you, and clearly that's not going to happen.
Yes.
Hey,
if we make that play and we dangerous.
You're not.
That's all I'm saying.
We're fine. Everybody's fine. Nobody's overreacting.
This is a message for everybody that is not the Celtics or Bucks. You don't want to see us.
Everybody would love to see you. Everybody would love to see you in the first round.
Hawks, Cavs,
no.
Philly, you don't want to see us.
All right, Kenzie. I let you have your Wizards fun. I gave you your chance to get out of it. That's all for the podcast today. Hell of an episode, man. We covered a lot of ground. We'll have a big podcast next week, recapping the Super Bowl. Probably going to be a lot more NBA. We're kicking up into the All-Star break.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, I'll hit you up soon.
Yeah.
All right. Later.
Later.